Hormuz. The presidents of the United States and Iran have signed a hard copy of the peace deal that will see the Strait of Hormuz reopened. President Donald Trump signed the 14-point Memorandum of Understanding while at the Palace of Versailles in France and says he did so to avoid economic catastrophe. US correspondent Miley Hogan is in Washington for us today. Hello to you, Miley. Look, now this deal was meant to be signed in Switzerland on Friday, but it looks like things were obviously fast-tracked. Do we have any detail around why that was?
Yes, Sally, it's not quite clear why this was fast-tracked. Potentially, President Trump wanted to have this big photo moment on the world stage. He had been earlier meeting with world leaders at the G7, and then he was at this glitzy dinner with the French President Emmanuel Macron at the Palace of Versailles just outside of Paris, and that's where he's decided to sign this historic document. Pakistan, who have been acting as the key mediators during this, say that both sides have now signed this deal and that it will go into immediate effect. The very first step will be Iran opening the Strait of Hormuz, and America will lift its naval blockade. And we're learning more about what exactly is in this 14-point Memorandum of Understanding. The first major key point is that it starts a 60-day countdown for Iran and the US to negotiate a more permanent deal. It is the end of hostilities on all fronts, including Lebanon. Iran agrees not to have a nuclear weapon, although what happens to the enriched uranium, that is expected to be worked out over those 60 days and put in that final deal. Now, one point that is attracting criticism is that the US and its regional partners will develop a $300 billion redevelopment, reconstruction fund for Iran, but the US does not have to contribute to that financially. And if all of this doesn't work out, then Donald Trump issued this threat earlier.
No, it's not final. It's a memorandum of understanding. And if I don't like it, we'll go back to shooting at them, dropping bombs on their head.
When do you expect the word?
If I don't like it, if they don't behave, we'll go right back to dropping bombs right smack in the middle of their head.
Sally, Donald Trump is now in the air on his way back here to Washington, D.C. An official signing ceremony is still expected to be held in Switzerland. And look, it's not clear if that 60 days to come to a final deal has started when Donald Trump signed that document, or if it will start after the official ceremony. Sal.
Yes, still some details yet to be made clear. All right, thanks for that. Miley Hogan there in Washington, D.C.